guys, welcome to Co-Parenting with a Narcissist 101. I'm Kate. Thank you guys for subscribing and welcome. So, what are we going to talk about today? Narcissist and triangulation. I'm sure you guys have seen this word so many places. I didn't even know what this is, until I was paying attention to, of course, what we're dealing with. And so, triangulation is defined as a passive-aggressive manipulative strategy a narcissist uses to instill feeling of jealousy in other people. So they will pretty much and it doesn't even have to be people. They use things or people to make their target jealous or feel insecure or feel uncomfortable, whichever one is they're looking for that day. So I'm gonna address this in our own little area here, which is we're co-parenting with the nut job. The narcissist will try to use you, the new supply, the kids, their other kids. Everybody's gonna be in the mix. But what I hope to God that you do not do is to get caught up in that. They will try to bring you in it. Now you've already given these people time, or yes, they're given you don't need to be a part of that. So let me give you an example how they use the kids. They use the kids to confuse or to triangulate the new supply. So let's say you have the schedule to go somewhere or the plan to go somewhere with the children, and they're having this conversation with the kids. We're gonna go here and do this and do that, and all this plan, mind you, is minus a new supply, who is in the vicinity, of course. And so all of a sudden the narcissist, God, why do I say you're a narcissist? The narcissist is talking to the kids, and like by now that they don't really genuinely care like a normal healthy parent would care for a child. Everything is an appliance. They use you like they use a microwave, refrigerator, whatnot. So they'll be talking to the kids. All of a sudden they're all into the kids. They're discussing how they're gonna do this and do that and go here and go there. And all these plans is minus the new supply, who, by the way, is in the vicinity of this whole discussion. So the narcissist would actually take the children out, minus the new supply. So you have something like my case with the kids, and they come back, like I said, like I told you guys in the previous video, you don't actually sit down and interview the kids, but you however have to ask them normal genuine questions. You ask somebody that went out, did you guys have fun, how was it? And like I said, if you start building a good relationship, healthy emotional relationship with your children, normally they will start downloading things, because they feel comfortable talking to you. So they go on and on and on, and then one of them, like, I don't know why he didn't want such and such to come with us. So I'm like, oh, I'm trying to say, well, maybe she's busy, with the new the baby, something like that. And they're like, no, he said she's not coming. She's not going to come with us. This is going to be just us, So I'm like, okay. So that happened, they call the days. That happens. The next day, the same thing happens. So that weekend, you have the narcissist completely ignore the new supply. All of a sudden, the kids are talking about so many things that they were doing, which that is unusual. Normally they are in the corner when they get over there. So now they are doing all these things minus the new supply. Like the new supply doesn't even exist. You know, that's how they do it with the new supply. Now, to do the same thing, they flip it around to do it to the kids. And that has happened too, where in my situation as well, the kids are left, actually they left them unattended in the apartment and took off. So you have them there where for the weekend the kids are completely left pretty much to themselves. And this usually happens when the narcissist feels that the kids have slighted them in a way. And this is when, maybe like in my situation as well, where he expects them to be the ones responsible for checking up on him, not him checking up on his children. So when the kids, obviously doing what they do, don't remember this or don't care, which that of course I don't even encourage that. Like I said, as if you want to talk to your dad, you can call your dad, you can call your mom, you can tell them that you can do this and do that. If you have something to tell them, you can tell them that. But them starting to put that whole responsibility solely on the children is, best believe they're trying to do that, which is what he was trying to do. So if in the case of during the week, maybe the kids don't get to do this, the weekend that they go over there, this is exactly what will happen, where he completely excludes them from any plan for that weekend. And so you have them go and like, oh, how did it go? Oh no, we were at home. We played we played video games, and we were on the phone, on the iPad or whatever. I said, oh, you guys didn't go do anything with your dad? Oh, he went out with so and so, but he said we're supposed to stay here. And that always, like I said, coincides with them not doing what he wanted them to do the previous week. So this is what they do. This is what he ends up doing to them. Another way that they triangulate is they use like, let's say he for the call-in, he expects them to call them or whatever. So since they don't do it, he might, they go ahead and call the kids, and then they'll be talking about the other kids. They'll be like, such and so called me. He spent hours on the phone talking to me, and they're telling this to these other these other kids over here, pretty much trying to get them to see these other people call me all the time, without really telling them, that yeah, you guys are slacking off on checking up on your old man. See what A and B over there, my kids over there are doing. This is another way to, do this. Or they could call the children and say, without asking the kids, how was your day? They don't care. They don't want to check in. I mean, obviously, generally, they don't really care. But they make it obvious in such a way that maybe they know something major happened with the kids. Like, let's say they took the test, the STAR test or whatever it is that happened in school, and they will call and then automatically start talking about the other kids. And this happened to my children as well. When my daughter had where my son had the STAR test, so STAR test, and my daughter had received the Holy Communion in church. So these are like, stuff that was still fresh in their memory. So he calls and automatically starts talking about the other child from his relationship. He didn't ask them what they were doing. He didn't ask them how was your day, So when the kids get off the phone, and this of was this really, I felt really bad about this. My daughter was like, well, he didn't even ask me about the Holy Communion in church. And I'm like, I said, come on now. You have this person over here, this with me. I said, maybe he forgot, you know. He's like, yeah, I guess he just didn't care what I was doing. He was just busy talking about the baby, and that's the other kid. I said, well, don't worry, honey. I mean, you have all these uncles and aunties. You have me, and I'm asking you. We're asking you about, how uh, the Holy Communion went, the event when you did great. And I was like, I try to, uh, reassure her, but this is the feeling that they actually wanted that, the kid to feel. So that way, they'll feel the need to pretty much have them bend to that way of checking up on them, just like they wanted. Of course, in my case, that did not happen. So that plan did not work. Now, how would they try to triangulate you, or bring you into the whole circle? Let's say, your kids go over there, to to visit, and let's say one of the kids. Okay, mine, the kid, one of my daughter has very sensitive skin, so she spent the whole week before in the swimming pool and all that. So the whole rash with the chlorine and stuff. So while she's over there, the dad, which, like I said, this is odd. This is not something, he does not notice anything. So it's funny that he was paying attention to the rash on her hand. I'm like, wow, he's looking that closely. But anyway, but all this is a ploy, obviously. There's an agenda behind it. So the next thing you get is an email telling you, oh, did you see the rash on so and so hands? Which is funny, like, if they were here the whole week, why wouldn't I see it? But anyway, so he's bringing it up like it's new. Do you see such and such rash on this person's hand? And then the next thing goes with, my wife, and they say her name, suggested that she put this cream on her. Now, this is one of those times I say they send you emails, and you have to kind of look at it and decide, respond and not react. Now, because your crazy self would be like, she better not touch my child. But no, that's not what you say. Because you already see what's going on. First of all, they don't really pay attention to anything besides themselves, for them to even catch something that critical, something that small, and then they say it, and then the next thing you hear is they throw in the new supply's name, so you can get the rise up, because they want you to react in that way, which is, I don't need anybody, she shouldn't touch my kid, or stuff. They want that kind of crazy reaction out of you, which you're not going to provide that. So you have me replying with something like, oh, that's really nice of her, but no, she can use her regular cream, nothing else. I mean, this is normal, so it clears out in 2 days or so. So now he doesn't respond back, because he doesn't get anything out of you. So, but this is how he's trying to make you jealous, which you now, if you fall for it, come back with a reply of, blah blah blah, don't touch my daughter, or whatever, which he feeds off, obviously, because now he'll probably take what you responded and show it to the new supply, who in turn will probably have something smart to say, and then guess what? He'll relate that message to you again, and then here you go again, and then it becomes a holy trinity. So for whatever it takes, do not walk into this circle of they will try to triangulate you. The last thing that you need is having this person that you've already wasted years on or whatever drag you into something else outside after you already left, after they already discarded you, after you already discarded them, whichever one it is. They will try to do this. They will try to bring you in that mess. And best believe, why they're saying all these bad things about you, every now and then they will say something to piss off the new suppliers. They would say something like, well, such and such, my ex does it this way, or blah, blah, blah. They'll throw that in there to confuse the new supply, because, wait a minute, just 5 days ago, you were just saying how horrible this person is. And then now, she's the best cook. You know, all this is the whole flip-flopping thing that's going on. But when they try to do this to you by dragging you in with all these random emails, all these carefully placed names of the new supply to you, I think there was another one, I don't remember one that they sent with the name. Oh yeah, I think my daughter left an inhaler over there. She was supposed to bring it back after a visit, and then the next thing you heard was I sent an email out telling me, oh, the new supply just found this in the car, and you can come by, stop by and pick it up, or something like that. You know, I'm like, okay. So, you know, so those carefully placed, you say she picked it up in the car when, according to the kids, she doesn't even drive because he wouldn't let her drive. But you know, that's side talk anyway. But somehow she was going out and she found it in the car. So, you know, but I mean, that's, don't mind me. So yeah, please do not be dragged into it. They would drag you into it. They would try to drag the kids into it. They will use other kids to triangulate the kids, your own kids. They will use the new suppliers to triangulate the kids, vice versa. They have no shame. Whatever will work. All just because so that they will sit and watch the craziness and watch you feel jealous and watch you try to do something to elevate yourself. It doesn't matter. So, do not fall for it. But try, they must. All right, guys. That's all I got. Remember to subscribe, comment, like, share. Whoever that will need this. We'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, of course. Get your mind right, and everything else will fall into place. Okay, take care. Bye.